Hello and welcome to Dear Coach, 3 Steps into Alignment. My name is Michelle and I'm a self-leadership coach. In this podcast, I will share with you the name it, feel it, and shift it method that you can apply to your daily life. This is becoming your very own coach. I will focus on exploring values and how they shape us and guide us. They form our decisions and behaviors, and most importantly, how we interact with others. I want to help you make room for more peace of mind and help you build confidence one step at a time. We can't do it alone, so let's help each other rise and make room for growth. In essence, our values are our inner compass. Let's get started. Hi, and welcome back to Dear Coach, 3 Steps into Alignment. In today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you an experience that my client went through, and I feel that this is very important because I think we've all experienced something very similar. So here it is. I don't know about you guys, but I have gone to work myself and felt like I've done most of the work. I care more. I do more. Nobody else seems to want to help. Nobody else seems as interested. You can't rely on this person. You can't do that. And next thing you know, you start to feel like you're the only one there. You hate your job. You hate your environment. You hate the people even around you. So this is what my client was experiencing. She was going to work every day thinking, oh my God, I do all of these things and I go above and beyond because it's really important to me. No one else really seems to care. I seem to be getting in their way of doing other things. She was noticing that, she felt almost isolated, but those were feelings that she was noticing because she was feeling herself and her environment like nothing was really aligning with her. So I've been there, I know you've been there. No one wants to go to work hating their job. So here's how the discussion went. What was she really feeling? This is the naming it part. So she felt tired and she was angry and she was feeling frustrated and she didn't want to go to work anymore. So I asked her, I said, well, now that you are feeling all these things, tell me why, which value does this come from? And she said, honestly, for me, I feel like this is being professional and teamwork. And I said, okay. I said, tell me more about value and professional, right? Where did you get this? How did you accumulate this in your life? And she started talking about the experience at school when she took her education and over the last several decades of learning different techniques and different management styles and learning different teamwork things that she gathered her whole life. And then the meaning behind them was the importance and what she actually saw outcomes, good outcomes, bad outcomes. So here's what her values were. Professional. Breaking it down is what we really looked at within her story. Start to finish. Rule following. Patient care. Cultivating connections with clients. It was helping others and teamwork. So once we talked about the value within being professional, I asked her to put them in order. Right? Because you have to remember, our values we project onto others, and that's how we perceive the world. So she put them in order, and here's how it was. One, it was patient care was very important to her. Connecting with clients was extremely important. And then it was a start to finish. And then it was rule following, helping others, and then a teamwork, right? So as our conversation continued, she realized that what she found really important and that others didn't, she felt offended. She went into a belief system that was really important to her, thinking, am I doing it wrong now, right? And she wasn't doing it wrong. She was doing it to what was valued to her. So the conflict between her and coworkers and her environment wasn't that she hated everything, is that she felt the disalignment of other people around her. They didn't see it the same way as her. So she realized in that moment, I'm getting bothered because no one's doing what's important to me, right? So she sort of sat back in her chair a little bit and she was like, but it's important to me, so I guess it is okay if I still do it, right? So then we started talking about teamwork. What did teamwork mean for her? Teamwork was the breakdown for her, was helping each other, was teaching each other, a sense of belonging, relying on each other, and communication. Now those are all big things, and putting those in alignment for her was in this order. Number one was helping each other, and teamwork was very important to her. Teaching each other, learning to communicate with each other, and then that sense of belonging, right? And then it was relying on each other. So those systems, those are the belief systems within the value of teamwork that she also accumulated by working in different work environments and working with different people, what worked, what didn't work. And she realized that that was something that was missing within her environment. She didn't really know how to communicate it herself to other people, the co-workers, and even her boss, management, team leaders. So my client's new perception became this. She actually loved her job. She loved everything that she's learned over the years. She loved the client care. She loved all of her patients, and she really enjoyed knowing that that was part of her. It was a relief. It wasn't, I hate my job. Wasn't the truth at all. She actually loved her job. She had to learn how to communicate what was important to her and for people to actually understand that. So the shift now is, with her new perception of what she actually valued, was this. Here's what I asked her. Was, now that you know all these values about yourself, what do you know about your coworkers' values? What do you know about how they feel about their job? What they value the most about being professional? How does that align? What do you know about their value in teamwork? What's really important to them, right? So then I also asked her, how do you want to resolve this conflict? Do you want to create or just a personal awareness? Do you want to create a huge shift within your work environment? Do you want to be a leader and create major changes there, right? Because there are so many paths that you can take. And so she sat there and she thought for a second, for now path was, instead of getting bothered by the people around her throughout the day, and this happens too, so this is also something you can relate to, is if you're busy doing something that you're passionate about, and somebody comes by and goes, still doing that, rolling their eyes, right? Like, her step one was paying attention to other people's comments, internalizing it and going, instead of getting frustrated and angry, to sit back and go, they don't value from start to finish like I do, I think. So then the next step for her was to maybe say something, which is communicating, yes, I'm still doing this. It's very important to me. Do you find it important for you to do this, right? Start asking questions, start getting curious about creating that communication about what the other person values most, right? Instead of the, passive-aggressive comments, right? That people can, sort of poke at, that you feel offended by, something that you value the most. So that was her step one, was just that self-awareness of what's important to me and other people's comments. Instead of getting offended, start getting curious and asking, do you find this important? How would you do it instead, right? And then eventually, her bigger plan was, once she felt comfortable there, was to go to her boss, the team lead, and say, this is what I've been noticing, and this is what I feel is missing. What do you think, And showing the value of her teamwork and being professional and what she's noticed within herself and how she could utilize and create an amazing flow of teamwork at work. So that was her bigger picture. But for now, and like everybody, we all have that threshold of, oh, how much courage do I have? And her step one was this tiny baby step. I'm going to go to work feeling good about my job. And then I'm going to start noticing when I get frustrated or angry, which value it comes from, and then get curious instead of snapping or being reactive, and actually say, what is important to you, right? So that's what she decided to do with realizing that she actually liked her job. She had to make some tiny little changes. And over time, if things still didn't align, that would be a completely different story of what do I do now? But for now, this was extremely helpful for her, creating that inner awareness for herself and learning how she's projecting it out to other people, and learning how other people project their values as well, and not getting angry, but getting curious and asking them, what do you think of this? Tell me more about that, so that we can now communicate and understand each other better, right? A sense of belonging and that teamwork. I hope by sharing this experience with you today, you were able to take a look at what's important to you and the value of being professional, and also what's important in teamwork. Getting clear on what those things mean to you can really change your everyday scenario at work. So I also want you to know that if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, I do offer that. I also offer a 5-week program that we go into the Feel It, Name It, Shift It through values and communication. So you can go to my website and get a free 30-minute discovery call with me, and stay tuned for next week. So next week, I will be talking to you about my strong belief system on being on time, and how it caused extreme nervousness in my body, and what I had to discover to create a shift. So we'll see you next week. Bye. To end this episode today, I would like to challenge you to go to work with joy and an open heart. Focus on the things you value and that make you happy. Become aware of your mood. How does it change? Reflect what you value to others and watch how they acknowledge your comment. They may even express their very own. And walk away thinking about what they value the most. You would be planting a seed in their mind of what truly is important. People reflect each other. The mirror effect is very effective. This won't eliminate bad days or conflict, but it will leave space for problem solving and